What's up guys, Nerf Nerd here, and today we're going to be doing the Alpha Trooper End Strike mod. All you're going to need is just a Phillips head screwdriver and either a drill or maybe just a big flathead screwdriver to punch out the air restrictor. So you're going to start off by removing all of the screws, which is here. There's some underneath here, there's 4 underneath here as well. Then you're going to remove these ones up here. Take note because these 2 here are smaller, so keep those ones separate. The ones back here at the stock attachment point, here, one there and one there. So all we need to do is just pop that off. So once that is off, just be careful that this doesn't spring away, and this here, so we just can carefully, there we go, get that there and pull the spring out without it flinging away. So always make sure to keep track of your springs. Pull that out. So all we're really doing today is just removing the air restrictor and lubricating and just sealing a couple things up. So it's pretty basic, easy mod. You don't need any extra parts really. I mean, unless you wanted to get apart from tape, maybe to tape up here because there's a little hole for the air restrictor. Not for the air restrictor, sorry, in the plunger tube. So we're just going to start this out by taking everything out. So I have previously removed some of the locks here. Yours will probably have locks in it. That's just once you pump it, you can't pump it back again. So it's really your discretion or if you want to leave it in. And we can also go ahead and set these aside here, just so they don't fall and we don't lose them. So you should have all your parts kind of in a pile reasonably, so you can keep track of them. So the first thing we can do as well is just take out this catch mechanism, and we can also take out the jam door. So we can just push it back a little bit like that, and then we should be able to pretty easily take the jam door out. And then we can also pull out the plunger tube here. And you can see that's been nice and lubricated from me before. It's just got some silicone grease on it. So there's the plunger, and we can go ahead and just pull this out. So lift it up over there, move that out of the way, and we can kind of pull this through and wiggle this through. But just to show you, I'll unscrew this to just give you a whole overview of what it's like. Alright, so to do that we just need to take out this screw here. Alright, so just take that off there, take the screw out, foot will come out, there we go. Magnetic screwdrivers are pretty handy. Alright, and then we can just go ahead and pull this out in a very awkward fashion, so that will actually be inside the barrel kind of, as you can see there. And then we have the spring, so we can move that out of the way. Once that's out of the way, we can also pull this out here. And we can take this out. So if we wanted to, we could remove this, but I'm just not bothered because it's really no point unless you're painting anything. So now we've got this out. Now this leaves us with all of this free. We can take this whole thing out. So about here where I've taped, there is a hole where air can be let through. I've just taped it up with electrical tape. And as you can see, I have previously as well just drilled a hole right through it. So you can either drill it or tap it out. I normally find drilling's a bit easier. So I would recommend to drill it, but it's up to you. So yeah, basically that's all it is. Once you've drilled it out, all you need to do is put it all back together really. So I'll show you how to do that. Also as well, while you've got it apart, you could stretch out your old spring a little bit. Just pull it apart a little bit past what it normally is. Not too much to where you can't fit it in the blaster anymore, but just a bit helps maybe take away if it's been primed and sat there for a while. So alright, so we'll start putting this back together. After you lubricate that, drill it out, just check the seal. One hack I would have, if you have a really bad seal, try taping a really some electrical tape around it, and then kind of cutting it away so there's just a really small strip just underneath the O-ring, and all that does is just help to push it out a bit and give it a bit of a better seal. But be careful with this, because if you don't if you do it too much, it can make your gun fire slower. So just make sure it's a really small strip and you haven't looped it around too many times. And that will help get a bit of a better seal. So we can start by putting this back on. So we can just loop this over here like that. And just make sure as well that these 2 rails, so this like bit of plastic here and the rail as well on the plunger tube is lined up when we put it back on. So just fit that over there like that. And just make sure it's lined up in here with this rail. So once you've got that in there, it should be sliding nicely on that rail there. you can put your plunger tube on it. So all you want to do is just slide it on with the little tab here facing up this way. So just put that on. It's kind of difficult to do with two hands. I should really invest in a better camera setup, but you know. Alright. And make sure the tab here is also seated, that tab there is seated in there like that nicely, and that's hooked over this, over the mag release here, and it should be sliding nicely like that now. Alright, and we can put this barrel in, and what you might do as well to make it fit in a bit easier, make sure this is facing down. You can also grab this piece here that you took out, make sure it's facing this way, and just put that in there. And then you want to line up these two crosses here in those two holes there. So just try and kind of push it on like that, and make sure that you can push that back a little bit so it fits better. And just try and line it up. So maybe push it through the top first like that, and then push it in there. There we go. And then just grab this and push it in there like that. And then line that up. Yep, there we go. So that fits nicely. And then you can grab this piece as well and kind of just slot that in there like that. And then grab a spring and just sit that on there like that. That's perfect. So now we'll just put the screw back in there, and that just holds it all down. So just screw that up. And you'll know that you have this all right if you can just pull this along, and then it should just line up nicely like that. So see there? Should just be nice like that. Okay, so all you need to do now is put your jam door back in. If you want to put it in, you don't need the jam door for it to function, but I mean, I like how it looks with the jam door. I think it looks a bit weird without a jam door. And just try and kind of slip that in, just fiddle around with it a bit. So you want to kind of get it over that tab there, over the lip. Yeah. Basically just, maybe you could also lift this up a bit and try and put it in. It's probably easier with two hands, but oh, there we go. So yep, got the jam door in now, like that. So it should sit nicely there. Okay. Now we can go ahead, not forget this, put this piece back in here. We can put in right here, this piece back here, the attachments, and we can put in our catch now. And you want to be careful with that because the spring can kind of run off. So just put this in here, again with one hand. There we go. Okay, so it should sit in like that. Just make sure as well that it's still sliding nicely on the rail. And we'll grab the spring here, and we'll just feed that in there. Lift it up a little bit and just put the spring on there, and then push it in like that. And then you can see that it's working nicely now. Alright. And just push that down and move that forward. There we go, so that's all working how it should. And you can see that the lip, when you push it back, if you push it back here, should catch, there we go, see, catch on the lip there, and then pull forward. And normally there would be the spring there to get ready, and then once you lift up, it will let go, and it will push out the dart. So that's all perfect there. And then just lift it down, push it forward, just gives me a bit more room with the spring. So before we put the spring back in, we can put this piece back in. So just make sure it's in this orientation. And then we're just going to slip it underneath onto that little cross down there. Which is easier said than done with one hand. So there we go. Okay. So that's on there now. That's fitting nicely there. Okay. You can see it's on the cross there. Cool. So now, just making sure everything's in, we can put in the spring. So I will need two hands for this part, but basically, you just kind of want to gently push it on. And, oh, that's right, we'll just push this forward because that makes it easier. Yep, that's all locked in. And then we can just push this back part in. make sure the spring doesn't pop out and you don't lose your, because often you can lose your catch spring. It holds there. And now you kind of have the difficult process of, with this one at least, I need 2 hands for this. You've kind of got to hold this spring in while you put the shell on to hold it. So you can either do it that way, or you can do it another way, which I will show you in a second. Just have to make sure this is working. You can either do it that way, or just put the shell piece back on. And just make sure everything's fitting in nicely. There we go. And then kind of try and push it in like this. And then as you push it in, just get it in with your fingers. There we go. And then press down with the shell, and that will help hold it. That will help it so it doesn't run away. And then I'd recommend right after you do that, just put the end strike attachment just to kind of hold everything, make sure it doesn't run away. So then once you're there, all the hard parts done. We just got to put all the screws back in. I remember the shorter screws go up here, and the 2 screws are back here. Then you put this piece on, and all you do for that is once all the screws are in, you just put it in that hole there, and then you just put the top piece on there. Okay, so I'll just go and put the screws in with Video Magic. Alright, and they're all in. So let's give it a quick firing test. Alright, and let's have a quick range test. And there goes the phone. Alright, let's try some slam fire now. So you can slam fire much faster than normal with this. One more dart. So I would say now the ranges are getting about maybe 80 to 85 feet per second, which is again much better than stock. So that was the mod for the N-Strike Alpha Trooper. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.